All right, we're starting.
Okay.
All right.
We're getting it rolling. What's our podcast called?
Christ.
Just a goof. Let's
Just
just
a
get
goof.
through the intro.
You guys don't even have the name down yet?
Yeah, he
No, I
doesn't, I
just-
guess.
Reminding the listeners.
All right.
We did 800 views on the last video, Jeremy. I don't know how many views your podcast gets.
You had nothing to do with that, first of all.
Oh, my God.
And all those
Why
800
did they
people
tune in?
hated us, which is
We're
good.
ready. Is it playing?
Did you check the storage on this or anything?
Of course not. Yeah, he checked the storage.
I deleted everything in my camera roll. Does that matter?
Yeah.
Should we check it?
No.
No?
Yeah. No.
Should we check it?
Oh, my God.
No, we're already rolling.
Okay.
The last podcast I did a podcast recently in, like, July. And
What's your podcast called?
No one knows about it. I didn't do one. I did my friend's podcast, and all of it got lost because they didn't check the storage. So I think it would be funny. Let's just roll.
Yeah.
And it would be very funny if I kept doing podcast spots and fucking none of them were ever heard because they
That
just,
would be
storage.
terrible.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, introduce your.
Okay, so
Let's
if
go.
you're just tuning in,
This is Just a Goof. I'm your host, Steven DeMarco. This is Zach Proctor. And
first of all, let me correct you because I've already corrected you before.
oh yeah,
Stop doing this to me.
I'm sorry.
It's Zach Black.
It's Zach Black.
We're not going to make this mistake again because I've already corrected you.
Zach changed his name because he did something horrible to a female.
I don't respect any of my family, and I feel no ties to the last name, and I like Black better, so we're going with Zach Black.
Okay, so Zach Black, and we're just guys from Western New York, and we're just, comedians who can't tell jokes right now because there's no open mics. So this podcast is really just a hangout. We bring on people that we just like and we want to talk to, and we tell jokes somewhere through it.
Or that we don't like, and we still want to talk to him.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly.
And today we have our
Jeremy.
Little, very
Yeah.
funny comedian,
Glad
one
you-
half of Karate Sleepover.
Glad
One
you
half.
guys planned that.
Yeah, and Jeremy's not just a local comedian from Jamestown. He is, dare I say, the local comedian from Jamestown, in my opinion. He's the whole reason I even stumbled upon comedy, and I'm just so happy to have him here.
I appreciate that, man. Now, Zach, you say something nice about me.
He is, I can't think of anything off the top of my head nice to say about you.
That's
but
absolutely fair.
It's
fine.
I'm glad to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. I truly am happy to be here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that you guys are doing this, I guess.
Well,
Are
everyone begged us
I mean,
to...
not really.
You begged
Yeah.
us to be on the podcast.
No,
so
no,
here
no,
you
no.
are.
Everyone asked us to please stop. And,
People asked you to stop.
Yeah, they're like, please don't do another one. We're like, nope.
Right. And here we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
doing another one.
Yeah.
If they only knew how many were banked,
Right.
No kidding.
you guys could really unleash.
Oh, dude. Dude, we have files. Files. We have a lot.
What a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame nobody saw
That would be
it.
more devastating than the Sony email hacks.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the 5 people who would be devastated by 5 of these podcasts coming out at once?
For... They'd be like, damn it, now he's going to fucking post on his Instagram.
Right.
Unfollow.
We need to get some good clips out of this one for Instagram. Instagram's very important.
Let's definitely get some clips, guys.
Oh, my
Derek,
God.
I don't know if you're listening. Can you just make sure
Make sure you're getting
we
clips as
get
we go.
clips?
I think that's what
Yeah.
they hated, honestly, about the first one.
Is that there were no clips?
No. What
Yeah.
that he said that, you know what I mean? That he had that type of energy, like the...
Yeah.
My energy.
I'm just messing with
I was
you,
just
Zach.
do my Instagram story the whole podcast, so.
No, you're...
Yeah. No, it's definitely good to when you're starting something, be like, let's do it good, guys. Yeah, definitely. Let's get some stuff that people will want to listen to. I agree with that. I think it's the first time Proctor and I have ever agreed on anything. All right. Action.
Okay.
Yeah, so what are you guys trying to do with the podcast?
Honestly, I just want to kind of tell long-form bits away, in a way. You know what I mean? I just want to talk about, like,
Comedy.
funny stories from my past childhood because it was very...
So you started with a political podcast.
Yeah, that was just as a goof, though, That
It was just a goof. We figured, make a podcast about politics. We don't want
It was
to.
actually
just as
satire.
a goof.
No one got it.
Yeah, well, I'll say if that was satire, it was fucking brilliant.
Nailed
You
it.
guys nailed it for satire. It would be funny if it was called Just a Goof and every single episode you were like,
Dead serious.
I know the last one we talked about traffic safety. That was just a goof, though. We're doing comedy this time. And then it always just went off the rails into
Traffic safety.
politics. And you're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
that
no
was a goof.
politics because I'm bad. I don't
Speaking
really
of
know.
traffic safety, we
Yeah.
were supposed to talk about how the parking meters in Jamestown went up to like $1 per half hour instead of 25 cents.
Well, it hasn't changed yet. It's a proposition. And then Eddie,
We got to vote on it?
I have no idea. I don't know
I'm
how
gonna
that
vote against
shit
it.
gets passed.
Derek, look that up.
There was a Eddie proposed a whatever it's called.
Who's Eddie for the listeners?
The mayor of our city.
Jamestown.
I'm sure people outside of Jamestown are listening to this. Eddie Sundquist, our mayor, said I think it's like 30 minutes of free parking everywhere.
Oh wow,
Mic drop.
that is amazing. That is a mic drop.
I don't know. I
What-
say let's pave downtown, get rid of all the roads,
How do you get 30 minutes of free parking? You have to come back after 30 minutes
and then
and pay?
Yeah, or you just most of the parking downtown. This is great podcast material.
It
most
is.
of the parking downtown is just stop and start parking. You go.
It's always good during a podcast to acknowledge that it's good material as well.
yeah,
You really know how to podcast.
yeah, absolutely. Also look directly in the camera. All right,
We
you're
like to talk directly to the people. I do.
all right, then fucking say something to him.
All right. If you had any jokes for us, leave them in the comments because are we going to do a joke section today?
Yeah, but not right now. We're gonna work
Okay.
into it. We're gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want.
How's the
Right now.
how's the pandemic been for you guys?
Honestly, not good.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm
Well, we
moving
all
out of
miss
Jamestown.
stand-up.
That's
Have you done stand-up since
Yeah,
March?
twice.
Cool.
In Warren, Pennsylvania. It's a fucking lawless wasteland out there.
Yeah, you can do indoor comedy shows in Warren.
Indoor comedy shows. There's still a cap how many people can be there. I think it was 30, 35 people. We sold out shows literally the days they got announced.
that's awesome though.
You have a show coming up. Karate Sleepover is presenting a show.
Yeah, Karate Sleepover. I'm not going to be there, but Karate Sleepover in Warren, PA, at the Struthers Library Theater. I'm not going to start naming off people who are on it because I'm going to forget someone and feel bad.
Yeah.
Check it out online or do whatever.
Funny comics.
It's going to be a really, really fucking funny show. It's a really cool place. I really like it there.
I looked it up online. It looks like an awesome venue.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
They have 2 rooms, smaller
really
room
pretty.
Yeah.
and the theater.
And the theater.
900 seater.
900
It'd be
theater.
nice to sell that fucker out someday.
It'd be so nice to sell that fucker out.
Do we have a follow? Do you have a following in Warren?
I don't know if I'd call it a following as much as people who I threaten.
Yeah.
I just kind of I go there. I go. I know your fucking kid goes to school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cough.
I'm gonna call.
I'm gonna
yeah.
fucking cough all over their teachers. They're gonna bring it home.
And they're like, "Well, it's not real, anyways." Is that
Uh,
what they say out there?
Yeah, man. That's my favorite thing is someone who's like, there's like a disparity of people who are like, when it's at a school, they're like, people need to get over it. These kids, they're gonna get it. Like it's gonna happen.
Right.
And then when it hit Tanglewood, people were like, this is a fucking travesty.
Yeah.
And then WNY News Now, Justin Gould, the guy who runs it, got it, and the entire comment section was like, my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. It's like, where were you when the kids, you didn't give a fucking shit about the kids.
Hey, they got strong immune systems.
Right, but they bring it home to their grandparents, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because kids are being raised by their grandparents these days. Cause
Yeah,
parents
dog,
are shit.
multi-generational
Dude.
households.
Dude,
Eh,
when I went to school,
The middle generation
dude,
is shit. That's why.
When I went to school, I had my grandpa and my grandma. They were divorced, and they still lived in our house. And my grandpa had like dementia, and he thought my grandma was poisoning him, and freaking out the whole time.
Man, I don't know how you were able to top.
They were divorced and they lived together. Was she
Yeah.
poisoning him though?
I don't think so.
What was she doing?
I don't know. She had a lot of strokes. One time, she had a stroke and made us cat food sandwiches.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I'll lean into it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I don't think.
Anyways,
so.
we are so
you're
far from the
confusing-
original point. Do you not think that multi-generational households exist?
Yeah.
Oh, I know they exist. I'm not denying that.
But what? Fuck them?
No, I'm saying that.
Is this the same train of thought?
It's not so much as multi-generational. It's the grandparents are raising the grandchildren because the parents don't raise their own kids.
No, that's
It's
not the. You are.
Oh,
you
it's not? I'm
you
wrong?
are. You are getting so far away from the
Explain
actual
it
thing
to
that
me.
we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
No, the person that's raising the kid has nothing to do with the conversation of a kid brings COVID home and who
Oh.
lives in the house. If you want to start making some weird conversation about how Gen X people aren't raising their kids, I mean, we can talk about that, I guess, but I don't have any hard facts about it and I don't have any opinions about it. So, you can scream into space if you want.
Yeah, I got some opinions about it. I think that people are having kids too young, so then they haven't really got their life set up. So then they still have to work and maybe work 2 jobs, and then the grandparents end up raising the child.
So you think it's the people's fault for having the kids too young?
Well, they just had the kid before they were ready to raise it themselves, and now they have to rely on their parents to raise it for them.
So what if they were like,
You see that all too often.
You know what, Zach? Your wife's gonna have a kid when you
I
want
don't
her
have
to.
a wife.
yeah, your wife's gonna
Yeah.
have a kid. She's gonna be way too young. She's gonna have a kid when she's like 14, dude.
Yeah. No,
Nah,
but if she listens
first
to
of
you
all-
and has a kid when you want her to, she's gonna look like garbage. She
Yeah,
has a
get
fucking
'em.
kid in her fucking 30s and 40s. The
30s
girl,
and 40s?
what are you talking about then?
50.
50.
I'm waiting until I'm 50.
My mom had
Till
a
you're
kid.
50,
I'm 50. I'm going to say my wife's going to be 41
and you're gonna knock up a 41-year-old woman.
when I'm 50.
And regardless of what she wants, you're gonna wait till she's 41.
First of all,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
going to meet a lady that likes what I like, that wants the same things. That's what I would think. I'm not going to want.
That's smart. That's smart.
Dude,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna.
meet a lady
It's smart.
that
You
would
should have
also
something
wait
in
until
common with them.
41.
So you want your wife to have a kid at 41? So you want a kid with
Round about that.
some kind of dude.
So
I'm
let
not
me
gonna-
ask you this: what's the right? So not just for you. For you, you've made it clear you're 50. You've got a wife, 9 years your junior.
Yeah.
And once you're 50, that's when you're gonna be ready to be a dad. In general, in society, what's the right age? What's the age where you're old enough? Keep in mind, not every single person of the same age has the same job, same opportunities, same
Yeah.
things. You're calling it an age thing instead of like a class thing or a socioeconomic thing. What's the age to you that people start to have a kid and it's okay in your book?
Older. Just
Just in general. So, okay, I'm 27. Maisie was born when I was 26 years old in March. Sierra was 25 years old. No, she was 26.
that's, well, in my opinion, that's good. Well, that's better than 16 and 15.
Okay, what's my job?
I don't know what your job is. I thought you were a comedian.
Right. Okay.
I know you was a comedian.
How much of my life do I still have to live?
You, about half.
Okay.
You're
I don't know what that means.
27.
Yeah.
So that would be 54 years old. I think it's.
No, I'm not talking about actual time. I think you were speaking more in like a cultural sense. So here's what I'm saying. Your answer to me, someone who you know, is I don't know of what my job is, what my salary is, how much of my life is left to live. You're prescribing this thing to an entire culture of people who are having kids at a certain age. You're saying they need to be making more money. And you don't even know how much fucking money I make. And you're saying that my age is fine.
That is a good point.
So,
I see
also
what he's
speaking
saying.
generally, Jeremy. I'm not attacking you personally for
I
having
don't
a
think that you're
child at
atta-
27.
No, I know. That's exactly the point that I'm making. You're not attacking me, but you're prescribing the same exact ideology to at large.
I like to make broad generalizations.
I know, and I'm trying to stop you from doing
And
that.
another
No,
thing
don't
is,
stop
it's
me.
not
That's,
even.
that's what's funny.
But that's not even a broad generalization because I don't think that many people are having kids at 15 and 16. If they make a TV show about it when it happens,
Right.
it must not happen that often.
That's a fucking really good
well,
point.
also I was talking.
Octomom was a thing because that just isn't a thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but also maybe it fucking is. I don't know. I've never looked up the stats on. I don't know what the average age of parenthood is. I have no idea.
I wonder what it would be. We should look it up right now.
Look it up.
We'll
That's
look it
good.
up.
You know, I
Yourself.
saw something on TikTok, and it was these kids who do this thing where they go through their really poor, bad house, and they're like, "I'm not poor, I'm rich," and they'll go up to like a really bad TV that's not even a flat screen. They'll be like, "That cost $10,000, and this table cost 11 grand," and I laughed so hard at them, and then I realized I did the same thing as a kid, in a way.
Is the joke that like it's like they're doing irony?
No, they're being serious because they're like 10, and they're like
Oh.
just trying to defend themselves because like adults attack them and say you're poor because if you look at the house
I love the internet
Yeah.
so much.
and they're like, no, I'm not. Look
Yeah,
at
you
this
know, there's adults
shitty
attacking
couch.
children, telling them they're
Yeah.
fucking poor, and the
Yeah.
kids are so stupid they take a video of their TV. They're like, "It costs $10,000,
Yeah.
you fucking asshole."
Yeah, exactly.
What is happening?
And I laughed
Also,
so
that's not what's
hard.
happening.
But at the same time, I did that because my friend came over and there's change all over my parents' bedroom because my dad would just take his pants off and the change would fly everywhere and he was like a scumbag.
Right.
And my friend came over and he was like, "Look at all this change," and he started picking it up, and I was like, "Yeah, that's because we're rich."
Yeah.
In my head, I thought it was because we're rich.
Bitch, you have money, but of course.
But really, if you just let change fly onto the ground or anything like that, you are a scumbag. If your
Exactly.
house is
Or
But I didn't
a
realize
scumbag,
that.
or Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Who
Gold
there
coins.
could also be an argument made that Scrooge McDuck probably a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
No one hoards wealth like that and doesn't also like kill hookers
Yeah.
and has somehow benefited from like kicking a black family out of their home.
Right. He's like, get him out immediately. I need that
Right.
check.
His name's Scrooge. Is it Scrooge? Am I thinking of the right guy?
But dude, then
Scrooge McDuck is the Donald Duck version of
Donald Trump.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, it was right, because Scrooge was a rich man, but not emotionally.
And he was a Scrooge. Or a...
I don't think Scrooge was a word before
a
him.
verb.
Right, it's like Grinch.
Yes.
They Scrooged Grinch.
they made it.
Yeah.
Like they Seussed it, like Dr. Seuss.
They Seussed it. I don't think that's as much of a thing, but
we just Seuss, dude.
We just Seuss. There you go.
My,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
miracle. But dude, my friend took all the change, and I went back to his house that night to spend the night at his house, and his mom was like, "Where'd you get all that change?" And he was like,
I robbed my friend.
No, I was with him, and I was like, "Oh, that's because we're rich." I told him he could have it, and his mom looked at me like I was crazy, and she was like, "Oh, okay," and like.
That's so
because
funny.
you're wearing the same
And then
clothes
2
you
week-
wore over here for the past 3 years.
Exactly. And then I realized like 2 weeks later that I was poor.
I feel like the only like, and this is I'm going to speak in a generalization right now. Like only
correct
middle
you.
class people meet each other's like friends as parents. Like
Yeah.
very poor people and very rich people, you're not meeting any fucking parents. It's just the kids.
Dude, all my friends met my parents because they were concerned. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, can I see your parents first? Do they exist?"
That's
you know
funny.
What I mean?
I had great parents.
Oh wait, you didn't?
Is
Did you
it-
grow up poor?
No.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to point that out. You had said something, I was like, oh, this motherfucker isn't poor at all.
I didn't grow up poor either, honestly.
We were fine. I mean, we were cool. We went to Disney once.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
We went to Disney once.
Yeah? Hell yeah.
We grew up on the same level, bro.
Yeah, dog.
Disney once.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney. You either never went to Disney, went to Disney once, or went
Every
to Disney
year.
every summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tweet.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's not an original thought to me.
Or you had Disney Channel,
Or you had Disney Channel,
which I had.
That's great, man. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I
dope.
watched Nickelodeon, and that's it. I wasn't allowed to watch Cartoon Network.
Really? Oh, I didn't. I liked it at the beginning, then I hated it as I got older. Like the new show sucked to me. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
The shows in the 90s were the best by far.
I mean, that's what
Unmatched.
everyone says about.
No,
You know,
but they
there's
were.
kids on Twitter
The
who are
movies
like Zach and
especially?
Cody. Oh my
VCR.
god! Like,
hell no, fuck Zach and Cody.
well, yeah, of course they've got one of your names.
yeah, I didn't appreciate that.
I love Zach.
Yeah, I mean, everyone. It's the same sort of thing where it's like the SNL that was going when you were in high school is the best SNL.
To you, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's all fucking subjective.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Well,
feel
no,
that right
because
now.
I would say that the best SNL was, not when I
Let's
was in
think
high
in real
school.
time about
Not
it.
when I was in high school.
Okay.
Like the 80s. The 90s. The 90s was the peak of civilization.
My favorite SNL. My favorite SNL has been the past 2 episodes, honestly.
yeah,
I think.
was Mulaney and Chappelle.
Dude,
Oh
yeah,
my
Mulaney
God.
killed
Mulaney
it.
was
too.
great.
No one talked about Mulaney as much as they did Burr and Chappelle. Mulaney did so good.
Yeah.
bro. He
Well,
was
people talked
hilarious.
about him on Twitter. People were fucking very upset at him on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because he said nothing will change. Which I mean, he's right.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's Biden himself said it. Let's not get into politics. You guys want to steer clear of that?
yeah,
Did we? Fuck it.
yeah.
Let's talk about him.
Well, Jeremy can because he knows, but we don't. So
I'll talk about politics. I mean, if you guys want to talk about Truth Jamestown, that feels like a good. If you guys want to talk about
What's
satire
Truth
and shit.
Jamestown?
Truth Jamestown is. Oh, you're not on Facebook.
Not on Facebook.
Right. Truth Jamestown is a satire news site that I run.
it's honestly funny.
Hey, if you
as
have
hell.
Facebook, go follow it.
Yeah.
no,
friend
you
it.
really should.
I'll use
It's
this
hilarious.
as a springboard. Yeah, go like Truth Jamestown on Facebook. It's I'm very proud of it. I've been doing it for about a year with the help of Paul Clemente, Dylan Leone, a couple other people, Taylor Rondinell.
Oh, yeah.
A couple people have contributed. I run most of it. It's a lot of fun.
It's hilarious.
Thanks, man. I just headline I posted yesterday that made me really laugh. That 10,000 maniacs. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, 10,000 maniacs only able to perform with 2,000 maniacs. Right. It's a solid joke. It's like it's tough to read them out loud like that, but when they're in print format, when they're in the headline format, it's funny.
And I love anything that gets you to write jokes. You know what I mean? That's just the best
Yeah,
part.
well, that's what it has started as. I had like written a bunch of jokes about Andy Liuzzo, a guy who ran for mayor.
Yeah,
I
dude,
was
your
like-
last. what was your last one of who I don't remember the dude. It was just funny though. The guy going against Christina.
Yeah,
now.
not Tom Reed, Andy Goodell.
Yes, Andy Goodell. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was funny.
I mean, they're all the worst. Like
Yeah.
this area is terrible for fucking local politics. It's like if you're not a Republican who likes it when Republicans aren't fiscally conservative, you would love it here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go fuck yourself. And no one's gonna do the research to actually figure
Be
out if they
good
want
at
to
the
vote.
job.
I wouldn't consider myself a Republican that's fiscally conservative, but I still love it here. It's a good
That's
time.
great, but
Zach, what are you?
I try to just stay. I'm a centrist. I try to stay pretty neutral.
That's
you know what I
good.
mean? I don't like to get
Jesus.
too many.
right, you're like, listen, on this side, they've got good ideas in terms of how to spend their money, and they want to kill all the gay people. But on this side, they seem to like gay people, but they're a little whiny.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, you're like
you'll shake
everybody
hands
whiny.
with anyone. Listen, you're gay, that's fine. Listen, you believe in conversion therapy, that's fine. Right?
I can't. Yeah, that is right. Isn't that true? I mean, you
Yeah,
have.
it's all fine to me. Whatever you want to do with your life.
So you're a libertarian who doesn't have the balls to call himself a libertarian.
No, I just.
Because you know that your ideas are wrong and you just aren't going to do the research to figure out what you actually believe in. See, here's the thing is that you are anti and but there's nothing after anti. That's your thing.
That is true.
Is that you are anti. You've spent your entire life. So I look at Joe Rogan, right? Who I know
Look at him, my idol.
you're
in my
a big fan of
opinion,
Joe
you're
Rogan.
Joe Rogan, but you're like not the parts I like of Joe
Well,
Rogan.
here's the thing. No, here's the thing is that Rogan forever, Joe Rogan, his whole thing was to be sort of counter. And he had opinions on everything and to be counter culture. And what ended up happening was he got so good at it and he got so articulate with it that he developed, wait for it, a culture. And then Spotify paid him $120 million fucking dollars, and people still listen to him thinking that they are in the other. Then what ends up happening is that you start to develop all your ideals based on that idea of being anti and being other, and you forget in the meantime to build a personality. All you do is, and I'm not saying this is about you specifically, but this is a thing in this group of people. This is about you, but not just you specifically.
The ego bro.
I mean,
That's what they called us. That's what they
They
called
did?
it. Yes.
Well, I don't
Ego
read the
bro?
comments.
I don't know. I don't know that term. What I do know is that it's people who have spent an entire life deconstructing the past and have just forgotten in the meantime to build themselves into anything. They're defined by what they don't believe. So when you don't believe in anything, no one's going to believe you.
Right.
So again, I'm not trying to personally attack you, but one of your bits comes to mind. The time that you went on stage at the Labyrinth with "Don't Get Married" and expected that to carry you
a
for
common-
8 minutes.
That's a common.
See, that's like something Patrice O'Neill would start with, and then he would kill on that. But that's because he was Patrice
had it-
O'Neill. You know what I mean?
I could see what happened was you had anticipated, I'm going to start with this, which is counter. And it always works for Burr, Rogan, anyone like this who's doing this sort of who can take a stance on another side of something and just roll into it. But when you weren't met with any opposition, you had nothing to be anti. And so you said, "Don't get married." And everyone was like, "All right." I don't know. This is just, I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right, but
Because I feel like we've never really gotten to know who you really are at all.
I don't think you've gotten to know who you really are. And
Yeah,
again,
let's find out who I really am right now.
what do you believe in?
I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Name
kinda
some-
all over the map.
What do you? Yeah.
I know you work
Which is
hard.
fine. You're
I
allowed
believe-
to be a complicated person.
You have a
Good
good work
familiar with
ethic.
transcendentalism. That's where the belief that you need to be self-reliant and everyone being the best they can be. That is how the world would work best,
Right.
and how civilization would progress the fastest is if all of us were the best we could be. There was nobody that we had to carry along with us.
Right.
So I think that we should all make ourselves the best we can be, as healthy as possible, learn as much as possible, and then, be open to all different ways of thinking without being attached to one. So I'm pretty open to everything, I would say.
Right. So that's like a description of a very vague belief system.
Yeah, very vague because I don't know what to believe in exactly. The only one thing I do believe in is myself, because when I think about believing in God or believing in anything like that, I don't think God gets me out of bed in the morning when my alarm goes off. I think that's me. And when I sit down to write stand-up, I don't think I give myself the credit because I believe in myself. I believe that I'm doing that work. It's not like, some God helping me.
Well, yeah, of course you're not going to think that if you don't believe in God. Like, yeah. I mean, we've had this conversation before, but why do you do stand-up?
This is the
Because I remember what you said.
yeah, that's still that's still a main part of it. We can talk about that.
So why do you do stand-up?
Jeremy, I'm not going to let you do this to me though, because we've had these conversations.
We don't have to do it,
before,
absolutely.
And every conversation we have, this happens because you act like a woman. You're very catty.
Oh, hell yeah, let's do
Yes,
this one.
I don't think
you like chopping. You like just taking little pieces away from me because I think you actually want to have sex with me.
Do you think
So you want to chop me down just a little bit at a time.
I don't know who's the sex guy. I think whoever smelt it dealt it, dude. You know what I mean, bro? Like,
I don't
If Jeremy would just admit he wants to have sex with me.
I can't express to you how far that is from the truth.
You don't want to have sex with me?
Not even like I can't even. Do you remember? Have you ever heard me talk to Gary Mooney?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't even think about you. I'm not that bad with you, but I'm certainly not thinking about you to the degree that I would like to have sex with you. I think that also your criticism of me criticizing you, saying that I take little pieces, if you can listen to a pretty full-fledged thing that I just said and be like, oh, you're just nitpicking, that's pretty crazy. If you heard that and were like, oh, that's nitpicky.
yeah, because I think he's just being upfront, and when people are upfront and honest to you, I think that means they actually like you and they want to see you do better.
Dude, I have liked you since the first time you did stand-up. I've given you many, many chances to be on stage and stuff.
Yeah.
And we've talked very many times about...
Yeah, basically owe you my career.
So I don't think that's what it is. Yeah, so I don't think that's what it is. I don't think it's any of that. I think he honestly, like, the thing people like about someone is personality and things that they can, and original personality. Like, I don't have that myself, truly, but I'm okay with getting criticism so that I can get to that. You know what I mean? And you got to be open to that. I feel like you have walls, and we gotta break them down, buddy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think you 110 million% need to stop thinking that when people criticize you, it's because they want to have sex with you.
Yeah, why is that where your mind goes? It's
No, I
so
think it's just
weird.
you specifically. Not everybody that criticizes me wants to have sex with me.
You just
but
put something
do.
in the air when you said that,
I
though.
feel a
Like,
little tension. There's always been a little tension between Jeremy and I.
I didn't feel any fuck tension, though. I know what that feels like, and that's not what it was.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
promise
It wasn't
you.
sexual tension.
No.
I can't promise you enough how much it's not sexual tension.
Okay.
Because if it was, he would have.
And never text me that shit ever again.
Did I text that to you?
Do you not remember the text message that you
What
sent
did
me?
I say? I say a lot of things I don't
Wait, did he
remember.
text you? Do you want to fuck me? Is that what he texted you? That'd be great.
Maybe I said I know sometimes we disagree.
If you feel like this needs to be cut, I'll understand.
read it,
It's not gonna get cut
it's not gonna get cut.
because this is so funny.
You were we were talking about your the Instagram podcast that you were doing, Roasted.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you had asked me to do
it's
it.
like a YouTube show.
Right.
Check it out. It's roasted on YouTube.
For sure. It's where it's like a roast battle, but they have to rhyme.
Fuck
So
yeah.
it's like a good idea, but then you made it bad. And you were like, you should come on and do it. And I was like, oh, that's great. There's a pandemic. And you were like, but I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, but
It's fake.
asymptomatic.
You
I've
know,
got a
the-
newborn daughter.
It's fake. It's COVID.
It's a whole thing.
With a great immune system.
And
to
then
live.
you were like, oh, it's only 3 to 5 minutes. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. You said most people didn't. Check it out on Instagram. And then let's see. Sorry, I know the dead air isn't good. I just want to find the date.
No, you're
Later
fine.
that day, 2 hours later after that, you said, admit you're in love with me.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
absolutely. Sounds like something I'd say.
Oh, all of this sounds like something you would say. 4 days later, at 6:08 p.m. you said, "I know we often disagree, but at least admit you want to have sex with me."
There you go.
You kept it on your mind.
That's
Zach.
a roast and a rhyme all in one, baby.
You're marinating with that.
That's what's
you know
up.
what I mean?
What's the roast? That I would be gay? Damn. You fucking ripped me. And then 3 days later, at 5:41 a.m., you said, "In the interest of keeping a healthy relationship with you, I blocked you on Instagram. No hard feelings, though. I enjoy our in-person interactions." And I said, "Why did you block me on Instagram? Haha." And you said, "Because I want you to like me." And then 9 days later, 10 days later, you said, "Want to do my show?"
Sounds like I'm very kind to you.
Well, I don't know what that is. That is a lot.
Why'd
to
you read that?
digress.
Because you asked me to.
Why didn't you do my show?
I still will.
All right.
But there was a fucking pandemic going on, and
Well,
I had a
still
daughter,
going
and I
on.
didn't know.
It was a scary time.
Yeah, man. My parents didn't see my daughter for a month after she was born.
Dude, even
Damn.
before the pandemic was even a thing, my girlfriend's friend had a kid, and my girlfriend couldn't go see the baby till like 2 months.
Yeah. My parents didn't hold her. Neither of our parents held
Well,
her
I
for
didn't
2
want to
months.
see the baby. I just wanted to see you.
I
No,
know.
but it's
I
a
appreciate-
carrier
I
thing.
appreciate
It's
that.
like, bring things
Right,
home.
that's right, and that was the thing that he was, and also isn't getting with the grandparents thing.
Right.
It's all for full circle with Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't see it, but it travels.
This is all to say, I don't hate you. I certainly don't hate you. I absolutely don't want to have sex with you.
Well, I'm glad you don't hate me.
Yeah, I don't hate you. I just think that you talk about transcendentalism. I think that you could be better.
So do I.
Yeah, I think that you need to spend some more time with yourself instead of spending more time taking a side and trying to figure out why the other side is wrong. And you need to spend more time figuring out what you actually believe in instead of what you don't believe in. And I would apply that to so many fucking people.
That's advice to anyone. That's advice that I'm going to take that I need. Because honestly, that type of listening to someone and hearing where they're coming from and actually looking at yourself in that way, that's how you do improve. That's the best way to improve. That's why, like, when I put this up and I got all this hate, like, I responded to those people and I was like, thank you so much. And I wasn't even doing it sarcastically because each of them gave me a nugget of wisdom. Like, you're coming off like this. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And I was like, good to know. I need to know that.
How do you think?
know?
How do you? And I'm going to ask you next. How do you think you come off to people?
I feel like someone said this and I agreed. Kind of like annoying, too loud. And someone you try to avoid. You know what I mean? Like
Really?
Like you almost get too drunk. Like I need to be less of, like I get too excited. Like in the last episode, I just got too excited.
Sure.
I think that's what it was,
Interesting.
and that's not really how
Those
I
are
am.
You
good.
think
Those are good positive negatives, though.
you think that's pretty ubiquitous that most people meet you and that's what their takeaway from you would be?
Yeah.
What about you? What? How do you think you come off to people?
I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out,
Honestly,
especially
though,
in my
I-
stand-up, because I need to find out how people perceive me.
Well, I think it goes back to the thing I was saying, where people can tell that you don't believe in anything, so they don't believe you. Big part of stand-up is you got to believe what the person's saying.
Right.
That's
How do
all
you
of it.
how do you think people perceive you?
I don't know. People have been pretty honest with me before. I mean, it's hard to know now because I've only been me for 2 years. When I was drinking, just kind of an out of control asshole, like for sure, like often an out of control asshole. And I was hungover or drunk far more than I was sober, like easily like a 3-to-1 ratio or 2-to-1 ratio. Like it was a lot. So then out of control, definitely just kind of like look at me energy. Now that I'm sober,
That's what I also
Yeah.
feel about myself. That look at me.
that's interesting because I would have pegged you as a quieter person when I first met you. But now that I know you,
Yeah.
I also don't think that you're look at me. But I also think that you probably act a little bit differently around me than you do most people.
Yeah, I think I do.
Because we're comedians,
Yeah.
not because of I'm anyone, just because
Yeah.
we're comics and we act like comics. Anyways, but now that I'm sober, I think that people, I don't know, probably think that I try to sound smart. I try to seem like a smart guy, and I'm out of my depth most of the time. I think that's probably it. Is that I'm like I'm treading water. I think most people, for the most part, like me.
But
I'm
I don't
pretty
think
agreeable.
that's true. I think you're very agreeable, honestly.
Yeah. I think I'm agreeable in terms of like being able to to hang out. I mean, I can tell you some, pretty real shit about yourself, and I think that everything's fine in the room. The pH of the room doesn't seem to have changed.
Yeah, like a woman. You say, "Let me tell you something about you that you don't know," as
Right.
if as if anyone hasn't already thought about these things.
I don't think that's what it is.
What a woman thing.
First of all,
what a woman-
broad generalization.
You know what? Yeah.
A broad
But
generalization.
first of all, when you root your argument in sexism, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Second of all, I don't think that's how he is. I think he's just, with you, he's trying to be very honest because comics have this connection where we want to see each other succeed.
Dude, you made me laugh so hard with that My Neighbor's Tools bit. God damn, that was so fucking funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we're not going to do it for any of you. So.
And how you do is a reflection of him. Like when we go out to Buffalo, like, they're like, oh, that's a Jamestown comic. So of course he wants you to do good. You know what I mean?
I want the Jamestown scene, more than anything, more than my own success, I want the Jamestown comedy scene to thrive. I want us to have a burgeoning comedy
Is that
scene.
true? Then
Yeah.
how come you don't book Jamestown comics on your shows? You just book Buffalo comics.
We book Jamestown comics every time we're able to. Where there's only, 4 or 5 to pull from who consistently do stand-up and are able to...
Would you consider us 2 of them?
I would consider him
Not
one
ri-
of them.
Not right now,
And
though.
you only recently.
Yeah.
And you don't consider me to be a stand-up?
I consider you to be a stand-up. I don't consider you to be bookable on a showcase right now. You have been in the past, and we've booked you on showcases.
Why aren't I bookable?
Because your material got fucking weird. Because it got only anti. You no longer it was like only perspective, and then no punchlines. And then also you were doing you did all that weird like racist, sexist shit that was just like, oh, I don't like the Shamu joke that you did at Whirly Bird. I mean, that was rough.
Yeah, man, we push the line.
I mean, yeah, right. And that's the thing. Again,
You gotta
you're
take chances of
But you need to
exactly. You're
know
like,
where.
see, what's the line? I'm gonna be anti that. Like, why
I've
are you pushing?
always you gotta push the line.
Why, other than just to have done it?
Taking a chance on a joke, too, doesn't mean it has to be a crazy, wild joke. It
Like-
means it just has to be like a new, fresh joke.
Bill Burr
That's still
didn't
a
make the
chance.
joke about oh, it's always bad to hit a woman because he wanted to make a joke about punching a woman in the face. There was perspective in it. It's not like you can obviously do this stuff. Obviously, yes, push the line, but don't push the line because there's a line there and I don't like that it's there, or not even that you don't like that it's there, just because it's pushable, I guess. Like, sorry, all this water.
It seems
was
to
a
me.
good
It
one.
seems to me like as a stand-up comic, you want to be pushing the line
Why?
because that's how you progress forward. You're always moving forward. We're progressing. We're not staying exactly.
Why
where
is
we
the
are.
line your metric for progression? The line of what you're allowed to say. You know that line eventually hits a wall where you're just calling the audience the N-word. Like that line doesn't continue as you progress.
First of all, I don't do comedy, racist, sexist comedy.
that you have done racist and sexist comedy before.
I have, too. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a part of doing comedy.
I probably
My
have as well.
intentions weren't to be racist and sexist.
Of course,
maybe
Patrice
it was
O'Neill-
a joke that turned out not funny.
Hey, Patrice O'Neill once said something that a joke that's offensive and a joke that's not offensive come from the same birth.
I think
you
you,
know what I mean?
think I go up there just to be offensive.
No, I don't think that at all. I think that you go up there with the intent of having a perspective that people haven't heard before.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that you're approaching that perspective in the wrong way.
How should I approach it?
I don't know. I'm not you, man. I'm not going to write
Then
your
why
jokes
don't you
for
let me do it the way I want to do it?
I am letting you do it the way that you want to do it. I'm giving you notes.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're not allowed to go on stage. Dog, you've been to the mic. I let you go on. There are people who I do not let go on that stage
Yeah.
because they've said shit that's just outlandish.
And it's not like you're not.
Yeah, and you also have moments of being funny.
You have a lot of moments of being funny. You know what I mean? It's just like I was doing good before this happened, but I could have very well been headed towards a drop off and be in the same position. It's just part of doing comedy. You know what I mean? And you just have to adjust. And I hate that horse joke. I hate that horse joke.
What's the horse joke?
How does he get the horse to lay on its back like that? It's just like
Is it your joke?
no.
Your joke?
Yeah.
What's the joke? If you want to do it, if you don't, I don't want to like pimp you into doing your material.
But
if you don't want to.
I hate a lot of my jokes too. But like, when I hate them, just dish them. You know what I mean? Get rid of them and try to. You can still joke about the same thing, but try to come at it from a new angle or something.
I'll ask you guys in the same order. Do you like your material?
I hate it very fast. That's why I'll never do a joke twice at the Labyrinth. Really,
You do recycle material really quickly.
yeah. And I mean, I'll keep it, but I just want to get onto something else because I feel like nothing I do now is going to be keepable anyways.
Yeah.
I just want to get good at writing them so that, when I get good at writing them, I can then find myself and use it as like a two-way parlay. You know what I mean?
Do you like your material?
No, like Steven, I lose interest in it very quickly.
Yeah.
The things I've been writing since COVID, I do like a little bit more.
Do you feel like COVID has like changed the perspective that you were coming into stuff with?
Definitely.
Is
Well,
it-
COVID hasn't, but just things that have happened
Right.
in the past 6 months.
Do you like stuff that was affected by COVID, like the fact, like more isolation, or I don't really know how you've been living your life, but do you think that the results of it have changed your perspective?
Well, of course.
Right. It would be hard for it to not have.
Yeah.
I hope you don't think that I'm like trying to like fucking.
This is exactly what I knew was going to happen. You were going to come on our podcast and you were going to criticize me the entire time. How long have we been recording, Derek? Are you listening? How long have we been going?
42 minutes.
All right, I think that's about long enough.
No
You got
way,
anything?
it's not.
Oh, it's not?
Hell no.
Another 10 or something?
All right.
Come on, man. We gotta do an hour.
We can cut all this and redo all this and do a different things.
What do you mean we? This is our podcast and you're a guest.
But look at.
Why are you trying to take control?
He's
I'm a-
not. Dude, come on. You gotta be accepting to this because I get this shit too. But when I get it different, like, don't get defensive because it's not a critique. No one's like trying to come at you, dude.
I'm certainly not trying to come at you. I mean, you want to talk about comedy. I don't know what's more fucking integral to like where it comes from than us talking about where it comes from.
And how
You're more than welcome to turn all of this on me too. If I'm the guest, you can interview me. I'm just talking because no one's asked me a question.
And how do you not see this as a sign of someone who likes you? Like, he actually.
If I didn't
cares.
like you, I wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't talk to Gary Mooney. I don't talk to Yuri Azakovich or fucking Charlie Imus.
We don't need to use these real names on here. We
It's
don't need to
okay.
throw anybody under the bus.
But people
I'll-
love real conversations too, anyways.
We know you'll throw anybody under the bus, Jeremy. You've had a lot of falling outs
come
in this
on.
comedy business.
Have I?
Yes.
Who?
I
are
don't
my
not
falling
naming
outs?
names. There's been several falling outs between you and other comedians because you do this to everybody.
I don't. I honestly don't. I cannot think of a single other person that I've had this honest and frank of a conversation about comedy with, except for Paul, obviously, because we talk very frankly about our comedy.
And plus, people want real conversation. That's what people actually want. I'm glad that we're having real conversations. People don't want, real conversations is why why Joe Rogan's interesting, why anyone's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I knew that this was going to be the conversation, and I was fine with having it because I think the viewers should see how we interact.
Yeah.
You two?
The three of us.
Okay. Well, I was heavily excluded from the we 2 minutes ago. I wasn't sure. Okay. I don't want this to be.
Why did you ask to do the podcast?
Because I thought it'd be fun. I haven't seen you guys in forever.
Yeah. You didn't read all of our text messages. Read the most recent text messages.
What if I'm like, you piece of shit?
Yeah, now's a good time to go to the jokes.
You said you said, hey, what's up? Just had a beer with Steven. Want to talk to you again. It's been so long. I unblocked you on Instagram. Oh, nice. I saw him at BK. How's your pandemic been? You were telling me that it was good, then bad. We talked about our mutual friend. You had asked, how's my family? Did I get time off work? I had told you about how my pandemic had been. I told you I had done some stand-up, and you said that was my next question. Stand-up, was that your first time back on stage, an actual show? Congrats on the promotion, too. I didn't respond, and then you said, do you want to do a show with me?
And you didn't respond.
And I didn't respond.
Sounds like I'm pretty nice to you.
You're nice.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
are very
say
nice.
that you're not nice to me.
I think you're nice to everyone, Zach.
Yeah, I don't think that the qualm against you is that you're personally difficult to hang out with or be with.
No, I love hanging out with you. I think you're very nice.
Yeah, I hope
That's why I asked you to do this.
I don't think that was like what was. I mean, I can tell you certainly that wasn't my intention going into this, was to make you feel like you're not someone that I enjoy spending time with. We hung out a bunch last summer. You helped me fix pipes at Studio Metro. You helped me. You held that fucking ladder that I was terrified to go on. Like, we've spent time together and hung out, and I've enjoyed it.
You've been at my house.
I've been to your house. We've smoked how many cigarettes together?
Yeah.
I know what your dog's name is.
Yep.
I know the
That's-
layout of your home.
Yeah.
This
I
was, I mean, yeah,
He could have murdered you if he wanted to. If you think
No,
about
you were
it.
coming. You would have found out.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I think his brother was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought about it. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like we should cut all this out and just do some funny things.
Yeah, let's do some funny things.
What do you? But I don't want to do it without you feeling like that's what should also happen.
I'm pretty neutral.
I want to keep
Pretty
all of it
centrist
because
on
I
the
love
whole
how...
thing.
You're
I
pretty
love how-
centrist on the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty centrist on the whole thing. Good. Because I think it's raw and I love it. And I think we should go immediately into jokes and not even cut that. I think that would be the best, honestly.
All right, I'm fine with that.
I like that.
I would like to move past this, and we can talk about
Me
this.
too.
We can talk about this privately. We can do whatever you want. And I just want to, if I can put a button on it, and then you can put a button on it, whatever you want. I was in no way trying to attack you. I was in no way trying to come at you. This is just where the conversation went. I was just trying to tell you what I thought about you in a very honest way. And I don't know what. This is the first time I've seen you in fucking forever, and this is just what we ended up talking about.
Yeah.
I wasn't like saving this like haha on camera. That's when I'm gonna get him. I don't think like that. I'm not smart enough to be Machiavellian.
I think it was... I liked it. I liked the conversation. It's just very raw. It's been so long. And that's what I think makes a good podcast. Did I say that already?
I'm thrilled with how many people voted to get rid of Trump this election year.
You probably can guess the punchline.
I mean, even my dead uncle voted for Biden.
Yeah. Anyone could have guessed that.
I didn't realize these had fronts and backs.
Yeah.
I have 3
And
legs.
if you hate them, really hate them.
Oh, I mean, this one is just like, this is every conservative take on
Exactly.
Twitter right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I have 3 legs. Is this a dick joke?
Mm-mm.
All right, then I'm actually genuinely excited about
Yeah.
it. 2 regular legs and 1 huge, massive, throbbing prostate tumor.
See, it's good because you think it's a dick joke, right?
Right.
And then I get you.
It would be here if I had written this joke. I think I would have said, I have 3 legs, a right leg, a left leg, and then another leg on my left.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to read all of these?
You can stop whenever, or you can keep going. It's up to you.
I know it's a DeMarco joke when it's about a dog having sex or fucking a dog.
Yeah.
I let my dog hump me one time. And now he thinks he can come and get it anytime he wants.
What a dog. I did all that just for that, to be honest.
I love some nuts on a Sunday. But you know what I really love? Some cock on a Tuesday.
Yep.
Man,
I was trying to channel my Zach Proctor there.
I was going to... No, these would kill
Please
with like...
don't call me by the wrong name again. I don't know how many
Why
times I
black?
need to
Do
ask
you like that it rhymes?
I don't
Yes.
even mean to.
Do you have like...
I like that it rhymes.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. It's whatever you like. I'm fucking down with.
Thank you.
Obviously
not, but okay.
I always think of Jack Black.
Because it rhymes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. Zach Black.
No relation.
That's funny.
And Jack Black even did that one movie where he pretended to not be gay. Remember that one? So
What?
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that one. I'm pretty sure he was gay in all of his movies.
it was on Netflix. It was weird. Me and my girlfriend watched it. Halfway, it's about his school buddy comes home, like his buddy from high school, and then halfway through they start fucking each other.
Oh, he pretends where he is gay.
No, he pretends Well, I get.
I see what you're
saying.
saying.
In the movie,
we
he has
all
a wife
very
and a family.
misunderstood each other there.
Still haven't seen it.
Let's hear. So, do you have some post-COVID material? Do you have a joke, like a one-liner?
He wrote some. Oh, we already went through all of his jokes. I have more.
Oh, you already. Do you have one off that you can riff off?
No, I'm not doing stand-up material on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Do you have one you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. This is like a one-liner. I think it's weird how the word snotty is a term for an entitled kid. Like, I've never seen a kid correct a waiter and been like, I bet that kid has boogers in his nose.
Yeah, that is a weird term. Why do they use that? Snotty.
Because it's gross, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. This is my impression of filling up a water can, like a watering can. It's perfect.
That was good, actually. That was actually
Real
really
thought-provoking material you're coming up with over COVID, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know. I have an idea. I want to do 13 Reasons Why, but it's from the perspective of Hitler after he killed himself.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's funny. Hitler. Wonder what they were.
Yeah, I haven't done stand-up in 6 months, which is weird. Stand-up isn't a job... like, you can't practice it not in front of an audience. Like, it's not like a surgeon where you can go home and practice on your kids. This just says Ed Hardy is kente cloth for white men who wear bootcut jeans.
Okay, that's just honest.
Yeah.
This is true.
These are just, I mean, you know.
Wow, that was some great material.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I have this one that I really like. I don't know why I like it either. If unicorns were real, how much would rich white men pay to hunt them for sport and shoot their babies in the face?
Yeah.
I think?
That's good. I mean, it's like...
It's just real because they do that.
Yeah, like it would be real.
I should have just said, how much would Trump's son?
I mean, that's just making it topical. That doesn't make it better. It's crazy how people think the Travis Scott burger is the first celebrity meal from McDonald's when the McRib is named after Marilyn Manson.
That's actually fucking funny.
Thanks, man.
That's actually really good. That's one of those jokes that it's like a Lil Wayne joke. Because when Lil Wayne makes rap bars, it's like, no one said that before. It's so like...
It's actually just a dick joke, which, you know, that's comedy gold right there.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Because
like a sucking
the
dick
McRib
joke.
because he took his rib out to suck his own dick.
Which, is that true?
No.
That's good. That's good to hear.
No. But he does... Isn't he still... No. I thought he was still missing one.
I think it would have been funny if people sold those extendo grabbers to give people social distance hand jobs.
Another dick joke?
Yeah.
Very funny material. If you want to pay to go see Jeremy Little do stand-up.
I will not be at that show. Did
Why
you guys
not?
see that Fantasy Island? I'm going on vacation. I work about 65, 70-hour weeks every week.
Oh my
Don't really have any days off for the past month. And I finally was able to carve out 2 days. I'm going to a Airbnb in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm going to go sit in a field and look at nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited about it.
Sounds like you should take some mushrooms with that.
No.
Probably. Oh, wait.
I did start smoking a little bit of weed.
You did?
Yeah, I have. I haven't in the past 2 weeks, but there was a week where every night I smoked half a joint before I went to bed,
What? That's awesome.
and it was cool. And I quit smoking cigarettes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore.
Damn, I'm jealous of you. I cannot do that. I really believe I need a rehab.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Here's how you do it: is have a newborn baby born at the same time a pandemic hits that directly affects your upper respiratory system.
That's actually a good point because my girlfriend's brother, he stopped smoking when he had his kid too. That was one of the things that helped him.
Yeah,
But I'm not having a fucking kid. Are you kidding me?
I'm thinking about picking it up again. You know?
Jesus. My girlfriend thought she was pregnant and I was terrified.
Yeah,
And then she wasn't. I was so happy. She passed a pregnancy test and then still got her period.
I like how you call it. Wait, what do you mean passed a pregnancy test?
She pissed on one of those sticks and
Since we're having real talk, I did want to apologize. I know this is part of the reason you're so salty towards me because I actually berated you one time in a conversation about not having a child and not keeping your woman in your life. I did this unknowingly while she was already pregnant, and you knew that and I didn't.
I did not know that she was pregnant at that time.
Oh. But she was.
I'm trying to
And I
think.
essentially berated you about your future will be better if
Yeah.
you
That
go it solo.
again, not at all. I'm not mad at you, or I like you.
Doesn't seem like it.
I'm on your podcast.
You don't consider me a comic.
I didn't say that.
You just said that.
No, that he would book right now.
I didn't say that. I said I wouldn't book you right now. And then you said you don't consider me a comic. I said yes, you're a comic.
And
I
that's
don't
not
think
your
that's how it
fault
went.
that he wouldn't
Rewind
book
that
you
if you're watching on YouTube.
No, and that's not his fault because if it wasn't for the pandemic, we'd still be doing comedy. Maybe you would have learned so much more, and you'd be doing better. And then by this time, you would be. You know what I mean? So it's unfair in that sense.
What I don't like, maybe it's my ego, but I don't like how both of you talk down to me as a comic, even though you're not any further along. You're not on a higher level than me as comedians. We're all about the same level. You consider I know you consider yourself to be on a higher level than me as a comic, but I'm not sure why.
I think in terms of experience, I am. I've had more stage time than you.
I mean, yeah. But
It's in the grand scheme, it's not a lot more stage time, but also I don't consider myself to be anything other than someone who has, like, when I'm coming to you with this, I'm not coming to you as an elder who has cracked it. I'm coming to you as someone who has a perspective on your performance. Mm-hmm. Not the where it's coming from has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Yeah, like my senior year, man, we were supposed to go to states for basketball.
What the fuck are you talking?
It's gonna tie this in. Listen, dude, and on our team, dude, it was me and my two best friends. We loved basketball, and we were honest with each other, and we played really good. And then on the rest of the kids were a bunch of baseball players who just played basketball for another sport. Yeah. And we never spoke to them honestly about, like, we need you guys, and we need you to, like, we never helped or cared about them getting better. So we didn't even make it past the second fucking round.
Isn't it funny the way that you would organize your life in high school? How you're like, those are the baseball players who play basketball. Yeah. We can't let them know how we play basketball. Like,
right.
What a weird way that, like, we already knew we were going to be sorting people in our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we just didn't know what important things to sort people by, so we were like, baseball players.
Yeah, because that's all there is to go on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's really funny that you remember that. I haven't thought about that in a long time, but yeah, we have had a couple conversations where you were like, don't have a kid.
That's a big theme.
And I get it. And dude, I also don't fault anyone who's living their life like that. Like, I get it. Man, I wake up like 3 times a night to just go put a pacifier in my baby's mouth.
That sounds terrible.
And I would do it 15 times a night. Yeah. But it's still like, if I looked at that from the outside, I'd be like, that's insane person behavior.
Right.
Yeah, but I love her so much that I would do fucking anything for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel that way.
But I understand the perspective of, like, why the fuck would you put yourself in that position?
Yeah.
Because without being in it, it is kind of a crazy thing it's a lot to fucking go into it.
I get it a lot because I babysit a lot for my girlfriend's niece and nephew, and I feel that with them, and I'm not even blood related to them. It's just because I see them once a week, and even that makes me feel like...
There's also a level of, like, man, if this thing dies, I am in big trouble.
This is all on me.
Yeah. People are going to be upset.
And, Zach, the first time I met you, you told me to break up with my girlfriend, and you hadn't even seen her. You didn't even know what she looked like or anything.
I give that advice to everybody.
Yeah. You're like, do you have a girlfriend?
I'm like, sage advice.
Yeah, I'm like, you're like, do you have a girlfriend? I'm like, yeah. And you're like,
I probably said that to Derek, too. The first time he said he had a girlfriend.
I can't remember. I remember you. No, hold on.
I definitely didn't say stay with her.
No, you said, Derek, do you have a girlfriend? I was like, yeah. And you were like, how long you been together? And I was like, I don't know, like 4 years. And you're like, do you lick her butthole? I was like, yeah. And you're like, going great.
You gotta eat ass.
That's funny.
You gotta eat ass.
Do you lick your girlfriend's butthole?
There's a clip.
We were doing that about 2 years ago, so it's done already. We've been
What
through
do you
that.
mean it's done? First
Like,
of all,
it was I don't eat her ass now. No, we did.
You guys had like a 2-year span where you were like, let's do this.
Yeah, and I'm like, really eating her ass? Never. And not because people were like, oh, if she did, just say it. Dude, ask my girlfriend. She'd never do that. You think my asshole's lickable? You think it's in that type of order? You know what I mean?
it's like a thicket of pubes.
Yeah, bro.
Ass hair.
Dude, pubes.
Do you
Please,
You
son.
live like your apartment. There's like pennies on the floor that you can't see.
Yeah.
You like it's so dirty.
But I'm moving and I'm so happy. I got a house in Lakewood. Me and my girlfriend are moving.
We're looking at buying a house.
Really?
I'm going to buy home. You're a homeowner.
Fuck yeah, I am.
I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm going to buy a house.
Zach has a beautiful house.
Wow,
honestly.
congratulations. I bought a house when I was 18.
That's great, man.
Nice of you to finally get around to it. Are you married yet?
Oh my
No,
God.
we're engaged.
Oh, you're engaged.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No,
Anyway.
we're waiting until COVID's over so that we can have everyone
And actually
invited that we
do a
want.
wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vaccines coming, baby.
What if I asked
Do
you
you
to
lick
be
her
my
butthole?
best man right now?
Yeah, right. I'd do it.
I know you would.
And
You'll be invited.
And then Jeremy gets up there to do a speech, and he's like, "Listen, Zach, it's not that I hate you. You just got to do a little better. You're not.
It's like my vows are like, I think that Zach Proctor needs to work on
Stop
finding
calling
a
me.
perspective.
Let me stop you one more time. Please stop dead naming me.
We don't.
I don't
need
know
to.
how many
Here's the
times I have
problem.
to ask you. There's no problem.
We don't need
because
You're right. You're
when
absolutely right.
I can identify as whatever the fuck I want to identify as, and I want to identify as Zach Black. And if you have a problem with that, then we have a bigger problem.
I think the word identify is farther from what you're looking for the argument to be real.
should
but I
identi-
agree with you, and you're totally right, and I
Right.
apologize.
I
Thank
think
you.
you should identify as a vagina. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's sexist,
'Cause
so
a
it's funny.
Exactly. I went down your alley. No, I think it's just we don't mean to. I don't mean to when I say it. And what did you do that you had to change it?
What?
I like it better.
Females, leave any terrible things Zach has done to you in the comments.
No, don't do that, please.
Let's
Steven,
get to the
I'm gonna
root
get
of this.
Canceled before our podcast.
I need an excuse to get a new host. I'm just joking.
I was just
I'm just
watching the Chappelle shows back on Netflix.
I know,
and every single episode he was like, "Well, not canceled yet."
Yeah, everyone. Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
and it's great if you watch it from like the first episode to the last because like that intensifies a little bit. Like you can see like the tension
Yeah.
on him.
I
as
think
he gets on
season 2
stage.
is fucking peak.
Yeah.
It's just sketch comedy, like not even from
good.
like it's just sketch comedy that it kills. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's talk about more jokes. You guys got more jokes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
Where are we at time wise? Hour
Oh,
3
wow.
minutes. Oh wow. Okay. We'll end on a joke then. You want to do one? I do one.
I mean, I got. We can. Well, we
We'll-
can do like what 5.
I got 2 each, so you do. I'm gonna do my 2, and then you punch through. Or do you want to do them? You
Let
do
me-
a couple.
Let
and
me
then,
do my horse joke. Now's a good time for it.
Yeah. Do your horse.
Yeah, let's hear the horse joke.
Okay, here's a joke that I have done, but it wouldn't necessarily be in my act these days, unless
Unless there was a horse in the audience.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
So, you know how when you watch porn, it progressively gets more and more. It takes more and more to get you off. Well, I think I've taken it too far. Lately, I've been jerking off to videos of girls riding horses. I don't know how they get the horse to lay on its back like that, but it brings a whole new meaning to reverse cowgirl.
You know, I remember that joke, and I remember what I think would make it funny is if you said, "I don't know how they get the horse on its back like that," and that was it. And that was the end of the joke, like of just like incredulousness of being like you're like playing with the idea, like because you're kind of like
I could do
You're
that as
spiking
the
the-
punchline, and then the reverse cowgirl is the tag. So that would work in that sense.
yeah. If you could wait it out long enough to get the laugh,
If it got
out
a
of-
laugh, yeah.
and then it goes, and then you can tag it with reverse cowgirl. That's a solid tag, but as a punchline, it's spiking the volleyball.
Well, that's not a joke I would do these days, post-COVID.
right.
I like more. My material is more thought-provoking these days. They're
Is
not
it?
just dick jokes like yours.
Let's hear one. I'm not doing my.
I'm
I'm not gonna
still
do
on
like
my stage.
material.
I don't have one-liners aren't thought-provoking.
I agree.
My material's chunks now.
So you're saying one-liners aren't thought-provoking, and then I was just doing one-liners.
I just do them as like setups for my brain. That's why I do them for this. It's just like
I imagine my headstone will read, "Killed self after trying on a pair of last year's pants."
You have gotten
That's relevant,
extremely
too.
fat. I did notice that. You put on about 20 pounds.
It's only 10.
kill-
I
kill.
didn't, and I'm not defending myself. This is only to say I weighed a lot more than people thought I did before I gained weight.
How much do you weigh right now?
I'd say about 210. I weighed 200
Good
forever.
Lord, Jeremy.
I know.
I weigh about 210.
Congratulations, man. Look at you and me in the exact same shape.
yeah. I know, seriously.
I'm proud of you, Zach, that you were finally able to get there to 210, where I've been patiently waiting.
Finally as big as you. Feels good.
Did you guys see the movie Fantasy Island?
I did.
You're right.
I liked it.
I want to go to Fantasy Island and watch them try and ruin my fantasy of only needing one flawless wipe every time I poop.
That is my fantasy too. I have
And
a really
a
hard time
shit
pooping.
joke to finish it off. You're full of shit and dick jokes.
Yeah, that's all I do now.
Yeah.
I've kind of given up trying to do long-form stand-up comedy, and I just do one-liners.
Yeah, it's
about-
weird. All shit and dick jokes.
This
You
one's a
criticize
political
my material.
one.
That's weird.
This one's purely political.
Yeah.
A little too political for some people. Today is a good day for me. I finalized my divorce and my lawyers made it so I don't have to pay my ex-wife anything. Yeah, apparently she's not legally obligated to any of my finances because she's a figment of my imagination.
I like how you write the punchlines on the back, so it really feels like you're telling a joke.
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest criticism of all these jokes, is it really feels like you're telling a
What
joke.
felt the most like a joke about that is when it got no laugh.
Yeah.
Also too
That-
long.
Doesn't it feel like someone's like trying to read something out of a book, like a joke book, and they're like, what the fuck? It's just some random guy.
Right.
He's like, wait, there's one right here. And then he reads it, and it's like,
You're like a 50-year-old man in a bar who like does the thing where he leaves the cash on the counter because he knows he's going to be there a while, and he's like, "Come here, I got a comedy. I got a joke for you." And he's like, three women, and he tells a 15-minute long joke with one punchline in it. All right, Derek
So
looks like he wants to.
This was
leave.
an epic podcast. Thanks for tuning in. to
this was
Just a Goof.
amazing.
I
Raw.
like both of you very, very much. I like you
love
very, very
Jeremy.
much, and I like you very, very much. And
I'm still undecided on you, but
I
I, do like
appreciate-
Steven and I like Derek.
I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for coming on, Jeremy. It's been a while since I've seen you. And
Yeah.
like
It'll
I
probably
said,
be a
you're the
while
reason
before
I
we
do
see you
comedy.
again, with any luck.
Yeah, if any of us are any lucky.
But
Hey.
let's bring him back sometime once we get some guests in here. Next week we're gonna have
Should
our
we?
first female.
Oh, okay.
We're
Does she know?
No, not yet.
That's how we do this.
No,
podcast.
she really doesn't know yet. She really.
I didn't
doesn't.
know
Who
you
is
were
it?
going to be here until today. So
Who
there
is
we
it? Your
go.
girlfriend?
No, it's my girlfriend's friend. Yeah.
Great.
I don't mean anything about her.
She has very strong
This is
beliefs.
his attitude about everybody. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a good way to
that
come
person,
into it.
I don't like them.
No, I go in excited.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're a pessimist.
I'm pescatarian.
Wow, he only eats fish.
Oh, I thought that was a religion.
All right, let's end this right now.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for
Thanks-
tuning in.
Thanks for having me.